Hey guys, welcome to Half Price, where we find all the latest and greatest Amazon products out there and find you the best deals that we can possibly find on them on the planet. So this particular drone by SHRC Hobby was originally $35. We were able to find it for $19, so check out the link in the description. This is basically as fun as a video game, maybe even more fun in some ways. Let me show you. This is the second drone I've owned. I had another one about this size, but I think this one's a little bit better, and I'll show you why. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's open this thing up. So the box has an instruction manual, which I recommend going through because it'll tell you how to actually use it and what all the buttons do and everything. It comes with the drone itself, of course, and the controller. So here's an extra cage. Here's the drone. Cool design. So it comes with two cages, I guess, just in case you lose one. And you can open it up like this to be able to access the propellers so you can replace them if you need to. Charging cable. You're gonna have to use your own charging block for that. Comes with the remote or the controller. This is where the batteries go, and it takes AAAs, 3 AAAs. Doesn't come with any batteries, so you just use whatever you have, or maybe you have to buy some. And then it comes with some tools and extra propeller blades because they do break if it runs into something sometimes. Comes with a little tool to take the propellers off, and then a screwdriver for the controller so you can put batteries in. And it comes with another battery. So it actually comes with 2 batteries, which is really cool. And you just push this down and then it slides right out. At least it should. I've done this before, trust me. There we go. It's actually pretty easy to slide it in and out. The batteries look pretty cool. My previous drone that I had before was actually not as nice looking as these batteries are. You had to actually manually connect it with a wire and then slide it in, and it was awkward. This one is a lot better designed. You just slide it right in, just like that. The top cover or cage just slides into these little grooves, and I like that because then it keeps you from hitting the blades, or if it runs into something, it protects whatever it's running into. So it's a nice addition to have this cover and this kind of round cage around it, which my original drone that I used to have was basically this same size. It just didn't have this cage, so it was a lot easier to break and to possibly hurt other people. So that's why I think this one is better for indoors. Here's the screwdriver for the little screw. It also has this clip right here, so like you probably don't even need the screw, and if you lose it, it's not really a big deal. I just put some of my batteries in there. So obviously it has a lot of buttons. If you've never used a drone before, then it actually doesn't take that much time to learn. Really, you only need the control sticks and then a couple of the other buttons. So it's actually not as complicated as it might look here with all the buttons. And then here is the tool to remove the blades. And I believe you just slip it underneath. So if one breaks or somehow it gets worn down, you can just pry it off and then put another one on. They are oriented a specific way, so you want to match the blade according to the motor. So this one says B, so you want to put one of the B blades on. This says 4B on there. And it explains in the manual which ones to put where, so it's not particularly complicated. So the controller has a bunch of controls on it, obviously. And right here in the manual, it shows what they all are. Speed switch, which when you click it, it changes the speed of how you can control the drone. So you can turn it faster and move it forward and backwards faster. And then left control stick, which lifts it off or makes it go up and down rather, and then also left and right. This other control stick basically is your main stick for moving it around. And then it has a few buttons. This is the on button. These buttons right here are to calibrate it, as you can see here. The middle button, you hold it down once the drone is on, and it'll calibrate it according to where it's sitting so that it doesn't veer off when it lifts off. And then these additional arrow buttons right here are to further calibrate it when it's in the air, so that if it's drifting, let's say it's drifting to the right, then you want to just press the left button so that it doesn't drift anymore. This finger button right here is for it to do tricks. It can do a couple tricks. It can flip, and then it also rotates around And then depending on if you hold press it or if you just click it, it'll do one of the tricks. And then you have these buttons down here, which I only use here and there, but really they're kind of just extra features that you don't really need. The middle button is an emergency stop. So if you hold it down, if it's about to run into a car or something, I don't know, then you can hold it down and it'll stop and I think just fall, which isn't necessarily a good thing, I don't think. The bottom button is to turn on the light. This button is for headless mode, which I'm not exactly sure what that does yet. So I'm actually gonna take it outside and figure that out. But I think it just changes the orientation of the drone and just holds it in that orientation. Not exactly sure. And then a return mode on the left. That's basically it. Really the only controls that I like to use are the joysticks, of course, and then changing the speed and then adjusting it. So it's pretty simple. Oh, and then this button right here is to automatically make it lift off, the top button right here, and then land as well automatically. Let's fire this thing up. So you're supposed to turn the drone on first and then the controller. And then you're supposed to calibrate it by pressing the middle button right here. You hold it down. Now it's calibrated and then I can lift it off. So let's check this thing out. Oops. So I think they're a lot of fun and they'd make a great gift. I think they're not very expensive. And I think that a lot of people haven't seen drones. I brought it over to my friend's house the other day and she thought it was really fun. So it's kind of like a fun party trick. It's also fun to just play around outside. If you have obstacles, you can zoom them around. If you have another friend who has a drone, they're just fun to play with. I will say that I wish with these small drones that they would last longer. The battery life on these is about 7 minutes. And that seemed about right. After using it, it died after about 7 minutes. And then the thing with this one, though, is it comes with an extra battery. So you could really play with it for about 14 minutes before you'll have to charge it. The charging time is like close to an hour, I think. The light doesn't light up on the charger until it's fully charged. So you don't really know if it's charging or not, but you just assume it is until it's done charging. The manual also recommends to wait 10 minutes between uses. So if you use it for 7 minutes, you're supposed to wait 10 minutes to let it cool down, or it might not last as long. I don't know if that has to do with the motors or what. I would say just go for it, you know, use it and then switch the battery out and use it for the full 14 minutes. So comparing this one to the other drone that I had before, which was about the same size and price, this one is a little bit better just because it has this safety cage around it. So again, check the link out in the description if you're interested in buying something like this. This one is going for about $19 with the deal that we found. Normally it's like $35. So it's a really good price for a fun gift for a kid. I think the packaging says 14 plus, but I think that, you know, kids these days, they got like really good hand-eye coordination from video games and everything. So I'm pretty sure like a 7-year-old could learn how to fly this thing around. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe and hit the bell notification. Also, let me know if you have a drone or if you have one of these or if you're going to get one. And maybe we can go and like play and like race, you know, drone race. That would be fun. But we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.